In a previous lecture, we have studied about the division of polynomials. But in fact, division of polynomials is a very long procedure. If the polynomial is of a degree 10 or 9, then this process becomes more lengthy. So, is there any other method to verify if a polynomial is a factor of another polynomial? So, that's something we are going to study in this lecture. That is the factorization of polynomials. How to actually find out the factors of a polynomial without actually performing the long division process. So let's study about the famous factor theorem. This theorem says that let p of x be a polynomial of degree greater than or equal to 1 and a be a real number such that p of a is equal to 0. Then x minus a is a factor of p of x. Conversely, if x minus a is a factor of p of x, then p of a is equal to 0. So what this theorem says that if we have got any polynomial of degree greater than or equal to 1, and let us say that there's a real number a such that p of a is equal to 0, then in that case x minus a is a factor of p of x. So if any real value a makes the polynomial p of x equal to 0, then x minus a would be a factor of p of x. That is, x minus a completely divides the polynomial p of x. Also, conversely, it says that if x minus a is a factor of p of x, then p of a would be equal to 0. And conversely, it says that if x minus a is a factor of p of x, then p of a should be equal to 0. So this is the factor theorem, and now we are going to look at the proof of this theorem. So, given to us is p of x is a polynomial of degree greater than or equal to 1, and let us say that a is any real number such that p of a is equal to 0. So given to us is px, this is a polynomial of degree greater or equal to 1, and this a real number a such that p of a is equal to 0. Now to prove that x minus a is a factor of p of x, thus we have to prove that this is a factor of p of x. Now let us say that qx is the quotient when px is divided by x minus a. So when we divide px by x minus a, let us say that qx is the obtained quotient. Now, by remainder theorem, we know that px when divided by x minus a gives the remainder equal to p of a. Also, if we divide any polynomial px by a linear polynomial x minus a, then the remainder is equal to p of a, and this comes directly from the remainder theorem. So we can write p of x equal to x minus a into q of x plus p of a. Here q of x is the quotient and p of a is the remainder obtained. So p of x is equal to x minus a into q of x plus p of a. We can further write this as p of x equal to x minus a into q of x. Why? This is because p of a is equal to 0. This has been given to us. So if p of a is equal to 0, we can write p of x equal to x minus a into q of x. And therefore from this what we get is x minus a is a factor of p of x. When p of a is equal to 0, we get x minus a as a factor of p of x. Thus we can write p of x as a multiple of x minus a and q of x, or in other words we can say that x minus a becomes the factor of p of x, and this is the proof of the factor theorem. Now let's look at the proof of the converse of factor theorem. So now given to us as x minus a is the factor of p of x. Now we have been given that x minus a is the factor of p of x. What we have to prove is p of a is equal to 0. Now x minus a is a factor of p of x. So p of x when divided by x minus a gives the remainder 0. So we know that if x minus a is a factor of p of x, then x minus a should completely divide p of x, and for that to happen the remainder must be equal to 0. So the remainder when p of x is divided by x minus a should be 0. Also, p of x when divided by x minus a gives the remainder equal to p of a. This comes from the remainder theorem, and so p of a would be equal to 0. Thus if x minus a is a factor of p of x, p of a would be equal to 0. So the entire factor theorem says that if we have any polynomial p of x and we have a real number a such that p of a is equal to 0, then x minus a would be a factor of p of x. That is, x minus a completely divides the polynomial p of x. The first is x plus a is a factor of a polynomial p of x if p of minus a is equal to 0. So it says that if x plus a has to be a factor of p of x, then p of minus a should be equal to 0. The second is ax minus b is a factor of a polynomial p of x if p of b by a is equal to 0. You simply use the remainder theorem, and thus this is because when we divide p of x by ax minus b, the remainder should be equal to 0. Now the remainder obtained is p of b by a, and this should be equal to 0 for ax minus b to be a factor of px. The third is ax plus b is a factor of polynomial p of x if p of minus p by a is equal to 0. The same logic holds here. So the remainder should be equal to 0 if ax plus b is a factor of polynomial px. The fourth is x minus a into x minus b is a factor of polynomial px if p of a is equal to 0 and p of b is also equal to 0. So this says that x minus a into x minus b is a factor of p of x if p of a is equal to 0 and also p of b is equal to 0. So these were some of the very important remarks regarding the factor theorem. So based on this, let's try to solve a few examples. The first is prove that x minus 2, x plus 3 and 2x plus 1 are the factors of p of x equal to 2x cube plus 3x square minus 11x minus 6. So in this problem, we have been given a cubic polynomial p of x, which is given by 2x cube plus 3x square minus 11x minus 6, and we have to prove that x minus 2, x plus 3 and 2x plus 1 are the factors of this polynomial p of x. Now how to do that? Simply we are going to use the factor theorem, but how? Let's check it out. P of x is given to be 2x cube plus 3x square minus 11x minus 6. Now checking for 2x plus 1, the first factor is 2x plus 1, and we have to check whether this linear polynomial is a factor of p of x. For 2x plus 1 to be a factor, p of minus 1 by 2 should be equal to 0. This we get from the important remarks which we just studied. So if 2x plus 1 is a factor of this polynomial, then the remainder obtained when this polynomial is divided by this polynomial must be equal to 0, and from the remainder theorem we get p of minus 1 by 2 should be equal to 0. Now let's calculate the value of p of minus 1 by 2. This is equal to 2 into minus 1 by 2 whole cube plus 3 into minus 1 by 2 whole square minus 11 into minus 1 by 2 minus 6. This gives minus 1 by 4, this gives 3 by 4, this becomes 11 by 2, and this remains minus 6. When we add them up, we get p of minus 1 by 2 equal to 0. Thus the remainder obtained is equal to 0, and so we can say that 2x plus 1 is a factor of p of x, because here we get the remainder equal to 0. Thus 2x plus 1 completely divides p of x. Now let's check for x minus 2. Again, if x minus 2 is a factor of p of x, then p of 2 must be equal to 0. So what we do is we check out the value of p of 2. So simply replace x by 2 and we get the value of p of 2 equal to 2 into 2 cube plus 3 into 2 square minus 11 into 2 minus 6. This gives 16, this gives 12, this gives minus 22, and this gives 6. When we add them up, we get p of 2 equal to 0. Thus, from the factor theorem, x minus 2 becomes a factor of p of x, or we can say that x minus 2 completely divides p of x without leaving any remainder. Now let's check for x plus 3. Now for x plus 3 to be a factor, p of minus 3 must be equal to 0. Now let's calculate the value of p of minus 3. So simply replace x by minus 3 in this expression, and what we get is p of minus 3 equal to 2 into minus 3 cube plus 3 into minus 3 square minus 11 into minus 3 minus 6. This gives the value as minus 54. This gives the value as 27. This gives the value as 33, and this is minus 6. When we add them up, we get equal to 0. Thus p of minus 3 is equal to 0, and so we can say that x plus 3 is a factor of p of x. Thus 2x plus 1, x minus 2 and x plus 3 all are the factors of p of x, because when they divide the polynomial p of x, they leave behind the remainder equal to 0. Thus they completely divide p of x. Let's try to solve one more example. Find the value of k for which p of x equal to 2x to the power of 4 plus 3x square plus kx plus 4 is exactly divisible by x minus 1 by 2. In this problem we observe that the coefficient of x is k, whose value we don't know, and actually in this problem we have to find the value of k. Now to find out the value of k, we have been given that p of x, that is this polynomial, is exactly divisible by x minus 1 by 2. So the linear polynomial x minus 1 by 2 completely divides p of x. So how to do that? Given is p of x equal to 2 into x to the power of 4 plus 3 into x square plus kx plus 4. So this is the polynomial given to us, and we have to find out the value of k. Now given is x minus 1 by 2 is a factor of p of x. So this linear polynomial x minus 1 by 2 completely divides the polynomial p of x. Therefore from the factor theorem, if x minus 1 by 2 is a factor of p of x, then p of 1 by 2 should be equal to 0. Thus the value of polynomial when x is equal to 1 by 2 should be equal to 0. Now p of 1 by 2 would be equal to, we simply replace x by 1 by 2 and get 2 into 1 by 2 to the power of 4 plus 3 into 1 by 2 square plus k into 1 by 2 plus 4, and this should be equal to 0. From this what we get is 2 by 16 plus 3 by 4 plus k by 2 plus 4 equal to 0. 2 by 16 becomes 1 by 8, this is 3 by 4, this is k by 2, and this is 4. When we add these two fractions, what we get is 7 by 8 plus this remains the same, 4 plus k by 2 equal to 0. Therefore from this what we get is k by 2 equal to minus 39 by 8, and from this k is equal to minus 39 by 4. Thus we get the value of k equal to minus 39 by 4. Thus if k is equal to minus 39 by 4, then x minus 1 by 2 is a factor of p of x. So using the factor theorem, we have calculated the value of k.